Hey everyone, welcome back to the RPGames YouTube channel. My name is Ralph. This is Varnhold's lot. We're outside of the tavern. There is 2 tasks on our list. We have to talk to the innkeeper and we have to somehow keep an eye on Willas Gunderson. But first I'm gonna have a small conversation here with Kjordi. Oh, I do actually need the help of a priest as well. Why does the Father of Creation still tinker with us fools? Mark my words, someday his patience will end, and then all of us will be finished. Fine, you can buy any scroll you need from me. I'll read it. Just don't imagine I'm going to run after you outside the city. When you go off on the march, you best take a cleric with you. Okay, so I need to buy a scroll first. Alright. We're lucky to have a resourceful person like you on our side. Of course you are. Without me, you'd all be paupers. But why are you sucking up to me? You after the beer in my stock? I'm not pouring any today. Don't get your hopes up. Yeah, we don't have a scroll of greater restoration. Alright, so let's head into the tavern. Zombie Jester. What? There is a zombie? Oh, there is Willas. Okay, let's first talk to Svelet over here. General, welcome. What will you have? I've had a report that a troublemaker from Galt was seen here. Yes, that scumbag. We've seen a lot like her. She wandered in here talking about tyranny and justice, when really she was just looking for something to steal. She came in with a small group. I think they were from a farm that's near the town. They sat here for a long time, saying things that made me sick to hear. First they were talking about Ignash, the sorcerer, saying he was a bloodsucker, tricking the simple people. Then they talked about how they got into the armory to get some weapons. They decided they couldn't manage it, too many guards, but then they remembered there would be pitchforks and scythes in the barn. In the end, they started talking to people, trying to stir them up for a riot, but nobody would listen. I showed them to the door and sent word to the treasurer right away. I don't know where they went. I think they said something about fishermen on the river. Do something with her for Desna's sake. Kick her so hard she rolls back to Galt. Otherwise she wind up some fools and they'll burn down the whole town. We'll talk to the people, but you best go find out where she is and what she's doing. Come back anytime. We'll save you a bottle of something worthy of a general. Looking forward to that. Okay, so what is a zombie jester doing here? The bard stands before you looking rather bizarre. He clearly inherited his waistcoat, which was once expensive, but is now worn and tattered, covered in motley patches and embroidered with skulls. The musician's face is covered with white powder and his eyes and cheekbones accented with black. So long as my song is not getting old, I'll sing of the fool, humble but bold. You there, general! A coin for the minstrel. Here you are. Thank you, your highness. I swear I'll spend it all in here and it's enough to last a year. Oh, he's a real poet. Who are you? A raucous rascal of no small fame. The zombie jester is my name. That sounds about right. What are you singing about? Of horrors and miracles, of demons and the dead. I'll sing you to sleep, and you'll wet your bed. Here in the stolen lands, there are horrors everywhere, enough for a new song every day. I've been to the Shrike Hills and returned with a dozen new songs. Songs of the insane stag lord, of evil fae pranks and trollish feats, werewolves and lake dragons and spider dances, and now I'm here to write one about the Cyclops. Oh. Now I'm writing a new song about an inn where today's travelers are fed meat carved from yesterday's travelers. By the way, it's not just a tale, it's the truth. I've been there, tasted their human meat pies myself and barely escaped with my skin. Where do you find an inn like this? At Blackstone's Ford. If you don't believe me, go there yourself. Look what they have in their pots. That sounds like a great idea, actually. You don't look like a zombie. For now, it seems I'm still alive, but Caden only knows what will happen tomorrow. I was given this name for my songs. Other bards sing of heroes and romance, flowers, and other such rot. My songs are, far more interesting. Good riddance. Don't let the skeleton cyclops bite your heels. Okay. Let's have a conversation with Willas here. Dressed in clean clothes, shiny boots, and in full accessory, Willas Gunderson looks even more jovial than he did when you met him on the road. Ah, there you are, my lady. What a pleasure it is to see you again. Tell me about yourself. Oh, I'm quite a boring person, believe me. Boredom has led me to learn a dozen ancient languages, decipher a trove of ancient manuscripts and chronicles, and riddle out the locations they mention. And the relic's hidden there. In between these rather boring tasks, I've written a few brilliant novels and a dozen poems. Indeed, I had to flee to this backwater from my admirers and fans. I do hope no one here knows the name of Willas Gunderson, or I shall have to flee again. Fame, I'm afraid, is the most boring thing in the world. Willas looks at you askance, evaluating the impression that his speech has made on you. Finally, he turns a little morose. Truth be told, my books are not very popular, and the money I received for the relics was hardly enough to replenish my wardrobe, but it's all well. Grand expedition to the Taurus of Lebanese will surely lead me to a marvelous finale. And I've already found something special here. He gives you a charming smile. So, what brings a scientist, traveler, and researcher of antiquities to our savage lands? I was led here by some information I discovered while translating the writings on an ancient stone panel. It was a heavy granite slab the size of a door, but a mere pocket notebook for the ones who made their marks on it. Ancient Cyclopes. It was they who wrote the inscriptions on the slab. Ancient Cyclopes, unlike today's poor savages, were darkly clever. They maintained their brilliant civilization through dreadful magic. And what was written on that slab? Nothing terribly significant. It described Cyclops settlements across the Taurus of Lebanese and mentioned that incredible magic treasures had been stored there in the past. But that was thousands of years ago. There's scarce a chance that anything remains today. Even that bracelet I found was hardly anything more than a valuable knick-knack. But even if I don't find any real artifacts, I will continue my search in the name of science. I see. I'm happy to tell you whatever you like. So you're going to write a book about us, huh? Oh, we're well beyond that. I've already started. Your comrades from the Varling host already gave me all the background I'll need to flesh out the first few chapters. I'm still thinking of a title, but the chapter about your encounter with centaurs near the city of Hollow Eyes will be called Ripples on the Water. Poetic, relevant to the location, and it foreshadows mysterious events to come. I've heard that Jubilas Northrupple was visiting your western neighbors. I don't know anyone who still attends his lectures or reads his articles. That obnoxious that obnoxious gnome can never manage to do without making sarcastic jokes at the expense of his own audience. But never mind. How unfair would it be if a well-known publicist showed interest in one newborn barony, while leaving its neighbor, our sweet and slightly wild Varnhold, out in the cold? Do you see now how lucky you are that Willas Gunderson himself has paid Varnhold a visit? What kind of character will I be? in your book? The main character will have to be Baron Varn, of course, but you, my dear, will be the hero's charming assistant, who the audience will love most of all. I expect the book's countless admirers will compose 1,000 sequels entirely devoted to you, and of course, in these apocrypha, your striking bow will strangely resemble none other than the author himself. Such is the nature of love in the public eye. Alright. So, Willas, how about we discuss antiquities and relics in a more private setting? There's quiet rooms upstairs. You know, General, scientific discussions are my weakness. You probably meant a conversation about antiquities or a conversation about antiquities. Conversation about antiquities, of course. About the amazing feeling you get when you tear off the cover of secrecy, take in its aroma, tirelessly chase that cherished goal, and finally grasp it. Can anything be more exciting? Now I'm most curious as to the scientific approach you prefer. Something intricate, perhaps, with lengthy preparation and a wide range of methods, or does a straightforward approach suit you better? You'll have a chance to learn all about my methods. Wait for me upstairs and take a bottle of wine with you. Yes, my general. All right. Score. I'm curious to see what happens now. We can cross this task off the list. Yeah, well, I looked into him, all right. Oh, that is so funny. Look at this, like it was a wild ride, it looks like. I mean, we took Willas around the room. Okay. Is there anything I can loot in here, actually? Because, you know, I wouldn't mind being paid for my service. Sir Gunderson, General, I have some questions for you. Okay. I can understand a broken bed and a crushed candelabra, but what does not save me have you done to the window shutters? Yikes. Well, you see, my dear hostess, scientific disputes can become rather heated. I'll say, if you decide you'll have another of your disputes, please warn me in advance. I'll hire a carpenter and a roofer to fix the furniture and the holes in the ceiling. Yeah, I mean, sure. Oh, that's funny. Alright. Will she mention something else? Nope. Okay, so I'm curious to see what he will do if I grab this book. Valor and Honor, 10 Adventures on the Splendid Willas Gunderson in Absalom. Okay, well, let's grab that, see. My general, do you think our sweet hostess forgave us for the shutters and candelabra? Well, I'm gonna go right to the point here. Have you seen that Galt and Troublemaker, the one who started the uprising in the city? Indeed I have, yes. I was just telling my friends here about that touching sign of friendship and affection that Baron Varn showed to me when these troublemakers came in with their silly talk. I had to spend a few minutes explaining to the lady how ridiculous her messages are and how disgusting it is how she expresses them. That told her. So when the troublemakers ran out of the tavern, I mean, she's not going to risk crossing paths with me again. Suspect she's on her way back to Galt. I doubt it. Alright, so after this adventure with Willas, let's see what we can do here. We actually have Ignash running around here. Let's see if he has perhaps a scroll. I'm looking for a troublemaker who has been stirring the people to riot. Have you seen her? I saw her, yes I did. She picked my pockets clean, but it's alright. A pocket is not a belly. If they cut it, you can stitch it up and fill it again. But the thing she stole won't be good for her. No, it won't. She's invited trouble upon herself, silly girl. Alright, he doesn't have a scroll either. So, did you handle those troublemakers on top of everything else? An uprising is just what we need. I heard that the owners of a tavern in Blackstone's Ford are murdering their guests. But the source of information was highly unreliable, a passing bard who reeked of alcohol. We didn't clear the monsters out of this land just so scoundrels could settle here. Let's check this bard's story next time we pass this place. Right. Let's head out. The guard has been knocked senseless, but she's alright. They took the pitchforks, scythes and flails from the barn, anything that could be used as a weapon. Alright, so let's have a look around. The Undertaker. A barony of your own. That is quite an undertaking. Ho 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 ho. Oh boy. Talk about humor. Okay, so what I'm noticing is that I don't have an exit, actually. So I'm guessing I need to discover some more on this map first. Oh, found something here. We will win. Okay. There is more written down there. Down with the Tavern. Yes, that sounds about right. There is more written over here. Up the revolution. Yes. Very good. I'm wondering if we're gonna find this troublemaker here somewhere. They did mention something about fishermen, but... Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean... We need to head back to the tavern. Or maybe they're upstairs, that's also possible, of course. I've looked around, but haven't found the troublemaker yet. Do you have any news? She never appeared in the tavern again, but people are saying... you hear voices and the clanking of iron from outside. It looks like a mob has gathered near the tavern. And you hear familiar voices of your guards and another voice ringing out, yelling sharp slogans about tyranny. Svala turns pale and reaches for the crossbow she keeps hidden under the counter. Looks like you won't have to go looking for her after all. Come on, General, let's give it to these scoundrels. Well, let's see what's going on. The situation is growing heated. Varn's guards, their weapons drawn, stand opposite a group of settlers who are yelling revolutionary slogans. You see some of the local fishermen among them. There's a half-orc woman in the front row, wearing a bright cape and shaking her weapon. She's obviously not from around here. Down with tyranny! We will not be threatened like... we will not be treated like cattle. You can't enslave us. Calm down now. Here's Valry, the General of His Grace. I'm sure she will deal with your problems and we can all go home peacefully. Who are you? I am Leonta Misho of the revolutionary Crimson Swans of Galt. We have freed our own home from tyranny, and I will not stand by as your new feudal lord tramples the freedom of these people under his boots. Kings, barons, earls, ordinary people are like cattle to the nobility. We will not allow this new state to become yet another prison for the people who groan under the yoke of tyranny. We demand that Mygar Varn relinquish his power, proclaim these lands as the People's Republic, and gather a constituent assembly. Yes, of course that's going to happen. Let's see... Yikes. Yeah. So the Knowledge Arcana is the one that has the most success rate. What is that on your belt? Why, it looks like a wand of invisibility. What need do you have of that? Wand of invisibility? Old Ignash the sorcerer had one just like that. And now then, let me see it. Citizens, don't listen to the tyrant's henchmen. Don't give up. Fight for your rights to party. Don't you see? So long as a sovereign rules over you, no one will care about your suffering. Your cows, your fields, your homes, all of this is at risk until you become your own masters. Down with the Baron! The time of the people has come. Yeah, no way that I'm going to succeed in these roles, damn. Let's try the Intimidate. If this comes to blows, you won't stand a chance against Varn's guards. No, give us the Instigator. Go home. Do you hear that? Violence is the argument of dictators. They think they can keep us forever enslaved under threat of their swords, but they are wrong. We are invincible because the truth is with us. Inspired by their revolutionary speech, the settlers draw their weapons and move towards the guards. The latter raise their weapons and grit their teeth. A bloodbath seems inevitable. You notice the revolutionary take a magic wand from her belt. She's about to cast a spell. That might succeed. Let's grab her hand. The settlers look more closely at the wand the half-orc is holding, and his face grows dark with anger. That's the wand of invisibility we took from old Ignash the sorcerer. So that's why you needed it. So that's your plan. Bring us here, set the soldiers on us and disappear. You Galton snake, tie her up, throw her in prison, or lead her to the chopping block. It's not our business anymore. Oh wow, one punch. One punch knockout. Let's go, everyone. before the Baron's guard cut us to pieces. I guess there's no luck for us in Varnhold. We'll try to settle somewhere else. Maybe things will be better in Shrike Hills. Yeah, because you've got a neutral ruler there. I'm sure that'll go over well. Well, you know, we'll go too. All right, we have some silly things written on our walls. We'll wash them off right away. Okay, well, Troublemaker has been dealt with. Let's report to Varn. I've handled the Troublemakers. It's too bad that settlers decided to leave our lands. Well, at least the Troublemaker won't be starting any more riots. Of course, we won't go so far as to execute her, but keeping her in prison doesn't make any sense either. Let's take her to the border and give her the boot. Let her slink back to Galt, or wherever else she wants. But if she sets foot in our lands again, she'll have only herself to blame. Although after learning about her tricks, no one else will trust her. Something else has come up. We need to discuss the new trainees. Recruitment needs to be... What's that noise? Who's making trouble? Oh boy. Your Grace, your hour has come. Well, that didn't sound quite right. I mean, it's your time to shine. To show off a bit, even. Your subjects require your protection. Will you refuse the pitiable creatures a heroic feat? You're a pitiable creature. Now stop fussing and be quiet. I'll explain everything myself. A woman wearing simple peasant clothes steps forward, pushing Gunderson aside. Your Grace, my name is Svetoslava. I'm from the village of Old Stump. We've lived here for a long time and always minded our own business. But since you started to rule here, we became, as it turns out, your subjects. Well, we paid our taxes on time, we brought you grain and meat, but now woe has come upon us. So it's your turn to prove that you're good for more than collecting taxes. I honor my duties to my subjects. What has happened? Oh, here we go. The next argument. Do you remember, Your Grace, that unforgettable day of our first acquaintance, when we met those terrible, but in a way quite amazing creatures? Well, why do you keep butting in, you rattlebox? You keep quiet, I'm not dumb, I can talk. So, Your Grace, woe has come upon us. Dead Cyclops have risen from the grave and are moving slowly towards our village. If you don't help us, they'll gobble us all up in no time. Willas, you seem nervous. What is it? Thanks, sweetie. I'm just, sweetie. I think to a certain extent, I may be partially responsible for what's going on. Metaphorically speaking, because I was first to be attacked by the Cyclops, what if I'm the one who brought them here? It's unlikely, I know. Unless they're here to reclaim that bracelet. But calm down, the Cyclops are our problem, and we're going to solve it. I'll lead a party personally. Valry, choose the best of the Varling host. We march at once. The others will remain here, ready for battle, in case the Cyclops come here too. Zombie Cyclops, I'd say it's unheard of. But as this young man pointed out, we've already met them once. That means we might meet them again. If we're to protect the barony, we'll need to find out more about them. I'll go with you. We must try to discover where they came from and what we can do to stop them. Thank you, Your Grace. There is another problem, though. These zombie Cyclops, they have the power to control a person's mind. When the monsters came, some of our people became insane. They began to worship them. We must do something about these lunatics, or they'll kill us all themselves. Thanks for the warning. We'll do whatever it takes to help your village. Valry, Seyfal, are you ready? What about me? Willas asks. You sit here if you want to be helpful, keep watch, or go to Gertie, maybe she needs help moving some bags. We don't need you fighting Cyclops. Fine, if you say so. Take care. Sweetie. I need to prepare. Don't take too long. Alright. That's gonna be the end of this episode. In the next episode, we'll... what's going on? Okay. In the next episode, we will head over to deal with some zombie Cyclops again. Awesome. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, please. I'm at 97 subscribers at this moment. Please help me to get to 100 subscribers. It's been a lifelong dream, and I'm sure that if you help me reach 100 subscribers, Willas Gunderson will write an amazing tale about you. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next video.